hearing I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? All right, I got to get better at that. I'm eventually going to get used to this whole YouTube live streaming thing. I'm not quite there yet. I got to have a checklist or something. Hopefully you guys had a great day. Why is BITF lagging? They lag. Miners lag. They always lag. You guys can hear me now, right? Somebody said muted again, but you guys can hear me? We're good? Okay, sweet. All right, so hopefully you still can't hear me. Oh, damn it. So I'm muted and I forgot my mic. Oh, lame. So bad at this. Better?
Can you guys hear me now? Sound is poor, or is it better? Is it better? Is it better here? Way better. Okay. All right. So I literally am going to have to create a checklist and like put it in front of me because I just keep forgetting all these things. So I'll get better at that, I promise. I'll write it out. I'll stick it up here on the wall. Right? Pro move. All right. All right. Now that you can hear me, hopefully everybody's having a good day. I know I am. Much better than yesterday. I did lock in some losses on Rivian, about 30K. That was kind of a bummer, but the account has done much, much better. I probably made up like 65, 70% of my losses over the last 24 hours today. So that's pretty sweet. I'll take it. NVIDIA, SMCI, like everything is just screaming higher. Let's go through this here. So today I am excited. We've got Square earnings that I'm going to be doing at 4 o'clock. I'm really excited to see how those turn out. I actually put the ticker up here so you can see it right under there. And I'm excited to see how it goes. They have Bitcoin holdings, like a little over 8,000 BTC. So it should be a decent amount of money that helps their balance sheet with the new FASB rules, accounting rules going into effect. So I'm kind of excited about all that. I'm excited about Bitcoin. Yeah, it looks great. Everything looks great. This NVIDIA crushing earnings. And when I say crushing, I mean crushing. I'm just going to hop over to this real quick for anybody who hasn't seen a good visual on it. It's just a thing of beauty. I mean, look at this. Look at these revenue segment. Look at that climb. It's like a skyscraper is being born in front of us. And it's not just that. The net income looks even better. I mean, these guys went from nobody in 2022 down to not even a billion to 12.3 and guiding higher. Let's look at estimates here. Again, looks like they're going to table off for next quarter. But again, this sector at 265% revenue growth year over year. It's beautiful. Their cash keeps going up. These guys definitely set the market on fire. I think it's a great sign. But anyway, so I think today in my account, Hood was great. Hood is bouncing. It's got back above that support line again. I love it. CleanSpark is rocking. ArcG is rocking. Square is rocking. I can't wait to see what happens on earnings. I actually feel optimistic about this one. Way more than I did about Rivian. PayPal even got a little bid. We're up like 1.6%. Nothing great. Could still drop. Don't care. I haven't sold 2025 yet, but I've got about 75, I think, maybe 76,000 in 2026. So I've been stacking there. The only bearish sentiment for NVIDIA is Jim Cramer talking positive. That's it. That's literally it. And they don't have earnings for, another 3 months. So we're pretty much out of that. So we should be fine. I'm not too worried about Jim Cramer, even though he does have a history of effing things up. I'm not too worried about him. But but anyway, the portfolio is doing great. If people haven't watched the Ethereum video, I'm going to talk a little more about Ethereum today, Bitcoin, just a bunch of stuff. But think about it, because I've gotten deeper into the crypto shitcoins. I've got 163 in here, but I also have about 70K, I think, in Robinhood. In all shitcoins too. So I've been stacking a lot, and then I've got another, and these are my long-term holdings, right? So I trade in my IRAs because I don't have to worry about taxes from trading. But then I have longer term accounts where right now I've got about 400,000 invested, where that's going to sit there for a year, and then I'm going to cash it out, and hopefully, it's 4 million plus. So that's how I do it. I don't like paying taxes except for the ones I have to. And I recommend that everybody, if you haven't and you don't know anything about taxes, at least watch my intro tax video and let me know if you have any further questions about it. Because you want to, don't trade a bunch of shit coins and then have like a huge tax obligation and then not sell quick enough and then have them go down and then have a tax bill that's bigger than the amount you have left. Like, don't be stupid. I've seen so many people get crushed in the crypto markets. I've been in this since 2017. And I've seen so many people get rich and lose it all and have it happen again and then lose it all again. And it's just, you don't want to be that person. All right. I might have had more trades that completed, but you can see I acquired more Tesla calls June 2026. So I'm looking out 2.5 years, right? Way out. PayPal again, 2026. Not messing around with the stuff that's closer. Bought some ETH today too in here. Probably bought about $20,000 between Ethereum and a bunch of altcoins. So I picked up a decent amount. This is a beautiful looking heat map. This is a beautiful looking heat map. Everybody's winning in this, except for utilities and some telecom services, but and real estate. But even real estate is looking better. We'll touch on that a little bit. Considering how rates are as high as they are, I would say real estate is actually doing pretty darn good right now. And it's going to get better because rates are coming down. I'll talk about that too. Now, the S&P is closing the day with a new all-time high. I can tell you who the MVP was for that. Little hint, it's called NVIDIA. So that helped. All the other indices are going up. Russell, not so much. It's lagging. I'm muted. I can't be muted. Are you just catching up? Nope. Okay, you must be. All right, keep going. All right. So fear and greed. We went from me thinking we were going to neutral to extreme greed at 79. So that's what NVIDIA does. NVIDIA rocks the greed boat and pushes it hard. So, and again, this is just, if you don't go here, the CNN Fear and Greed Index is actually pretty helpful. It shows you levels from a whole bunch of different things like market momentum, stock price strength, breadth, all kinds of stuff, right? So this could be pretty helpful. I wish it was a longer time frame, though. That's the only thing. I wish they gave you more historical in here. If anybody knows a better, like, longer historical time frame, going back like at least 5, 10 years, 20, I would love to see that. So if anybody knows about something like that, let me know. Now, I do want to touch on some economic data that came out today, and then we'll get into my usual charts once we get past a bunch of diatribes that I want to go on. But so right here, initial jobless claims. If we look here, you can see that these are still trending down. Now, Zero Hedge and a couple other people were saying, hey, sure, it's trending down, but how real is it? We saw a ton of layoffs happening in Q1. It's a good question. I think that this number will tick up. We'll see. Now, let's go back here. I want to look at other stuff that happened. Existing home sales. This is actually a little bright spot. If you can see here, it's almost like we got a little baby trend. We got a little baby trend. Existing home sales are picking up, which is crazy that this is already picking up, considering rates are still in the 7% range because they've started to roll back up again because people that thought that they were going to get lower rates a lot sooner aren't. And so the market was adjusting. But again, the real estate market wants to kick off again. The auto market wants to kick off again. Lending wants to kick off again. It's just waiting for a catalyst. So I believe still strongly that in May, we will see a lowering of rates. Worst case June, but May, I think we'll see it. And I think with that, we'll see a positive market. We'll see a positive market because all these things have been suppressed for years and they want to ignite. And that's probably what the Fed's worried about, honestly. All right, let me see if there's any other real good things we want to look at. Global services, PMI. So services was a little bit lower than expected for the PMI for February, but it's still in expansion territory at 51.3. Yeah, it was a hot day for sure. And then global manufacturing PMI was actually 51.5, whereas the forecast was 50.3. So it was supposed to be barely expansionary, and yet it took off a little bit. And so we're seeing manufacturing tick up. I dig that. That's a good thing. Also, tomorrow, there isn't much. There isn't much in the way of data at all. It doesn't even register in here because I've got it on 2 ticks. But if I switch to 1 here, let's see, is there anything? There's oil rig counts. Nobody cares about that. So, and then even, honestly, even Monday, we have building permits. The Dallas Fed is probably like the most interesting thing. So we got a quiet series of days coming right now. Hey, thank you, Matanga. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm so bad with names. But thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. But so anyway, so we got a drier schedule on the economic data for the next couple of days. With what just happened with NVIDIA, that makes me happy. Makes me think that this market's getting ready to pump. So I don't hate that at all. Now, real quickly, my friend Mortensen Bach posted this a while ago, and then I think he reposted today. I wanted to touch on it, though, because I talk about global liquidity, but also there's liquidity in the States that's happening too, right? There's so many different versions of it. But what I wanted to highlight today is in yellow, you can see the overnight reverse repurchase agreements, and they're going down. All that is that's just more liquidity for the banking system, right? To where they could just keep lending, but they're tapping this stuff, and eventually they're going to run out. Maybe that happens in April, May. I don't know. but I'm not too worried about it. There's the Bank Term Funding Program. That's coming to an end too. But what people don't realize is the U.S. Treasury General Account, this green one down here, and then over here, the Fed excess reserves and for depository institutions, that stuff is still ticking up, which is why you see the S&P going up. You got the reverse repo providing liquidity, even though the BTFP, the Bank Term Funding Program, is coming to an end. Nobody's really using it anymore anyway. And then you have the Treasury that's pumping money out into the system, and then you have all this money from the last 4 years, over 35%. So there's just so much money. And then I posted something the other day about corporations having over $5 trillion when before they had about $2.5 trillion before COVID. So, and just cash. So it's going to be really hard for bears to get this market to go down. They're going to be really sad. And I pity them because they're going to hold that stance and they're not going to make any money. And about the time they get interested, about the time you see the bears, the really hardcore guys, starting to invest and telling you to go long, you better start being cautious and get your hedges in play. All right, this is something I wanted to highlight. I don't feel like enough people understand this. There's this book called The Price of Tomorrow by Jeff Booth. There's a number of different books that are kind of similar in nature, but I thought he did the best job of explaining it. Technology is deflationary. Everybody's worried about inflation right now. It's bullshit. It's not real. It doesn't matter. We are already getting deflation coming from China. We're getting deflation coming from Japan. We're getting deflation coming from parts of Europe and all over the world because these economies are slowing. We don't have that problem. And on top of that, we have an AI boom. And some of it's going to be stupid and bubbly. I don't like C3 AI. Some people like that. But when I look at the balance sheet, it's trash. Let me just show it real quick. So again, they got a great ticker, though. Very smart on the ticker front. I mean, that's the way you do it. You get the right ticker, and then people will buy it because it says the word AI in it. But again, when I'm looking at this net income sucks. So there are going to be bubbles that form. I want to be very clear about that. There will be bubbles that form, but AI is real, and automation is real, and robotics is real, and it's all accelerating. And then you have Bitcoin. Bitcoin helps people save money so that it's not getting inflated, they're not losing tons of value every day. All these things will help with inflation and remove it and eliminate it. And if anything, it will make it okay for the money printer to go burr. So many people don't get this. Even like hardcore Bitcoiners are like, oh, the system's going to implode, blah, 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 get your life raft. Yes, it could. It probably will someday. That doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be in 2 years. Could be. That's when global liquidity starts to dry up. 2026, that's when we'll start to have our flip downward. And that's been consistent for like 70 years. So I just want to say, like, things don't have to go away and get destroyed today. That's the message I'm trying to get across. And things are getting cheaper all the time. If you don't believe me, go back to the 90s when I was a teenager and see what they had for phones. They had video conferencing phones that were like $1,000 and they didn't even work and nobody bought them. The TVs, you could get a 30-inch or 32-inch gateway TV for thousands of dollars and it weighed like 250 pounds. So if you don't think that deflation is real, if you don't think technological advancement is real, you'll figure that out someday when you get old and you see how much cheaper goods are and that you can go to a store and get like a 40-inch television that has everything for nothing. You can get the entire wealth of knowledge of the universe on X and not even pay for it and all these other platforms and YouTube and everything else. It's like the world gets better. I know everybody wants to like jump on social media. This is quite the tirade. Give me a sec though, I'm almost done. I know everybody wants to jump on social media and look at the world as it's dying and everything is bad because it's so easy to find horrible things when you have billions of people across this planet if you want to find those things. But the world is getting better. Every stat says it's safer. People are living longer, minus COVID. That kind of sucked. There are bad things that happen, but it's getting better. There are so many less poor people today than there were even when I was a kid across this world. So get out of your doom and gloom shit and start to focus on what's real and then be prepared for when things do get bad, because it will happen. Thank you. Sorry for the preaching. I'm going to calm down now. I might not. We'll see. I got other stuff I want to go off about too. All right, here we go. Tesla. I hear so many people like PayPal is the latest thing, and I'm not calling PayPal Tesla by any means whatsoever. But there are investments that will boil and that will make you a bunch of money over time. And you need to be patient for that kind of stuff. Somebody was talking about how Tesla hasn't really moved. I remember people saying that all the time when I was owning it down here at nothing after the split. It's like nothing. It was like $80 at the time, I think. It was $80 at the time. And then after the split, it's like what, $12, $13 I was buying this stuff at? And nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. The company was dying, but you could tell that it was going to be just fine. If you did the homework, if you looked at the company, you knew it was going to be fine. You knew it was a matter of time. And the people that stuck with that conviction made 3,400% if they held it for the next year and a half. 3,400%. And I don't know if you're looking at these patterns here, but this kind of grinding sideways to down is what we're doing now. So whether it's Tesla, whatever it is, hey, thanks for joining, Sean. Whatever it is, look at it, research it, figure it out, watch the earnings. Like with Square coming up here at 5 or 4. Learn. Figure out if that company is real. Figure out if it's going to be something. Don't chase all the time. The best way to get screwed is to do short-term options, to do margin, and to chase stocks. So if you want to get screwed, do those things. It's a great way to lose money. Have no conviction, do no homework, learn nothing, and just follow people. And you'll lose tons of money. Like clockwork. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, second rant. Third rant? I don't even know anymore. All right. Here's the next thing I wanted to show you. This is how many countries that Bitcoin has seen an all-time high in. Bitcoin has already seen an all-time high in 14 countries around the world. So when some idiot tells you that Bitcoin, yes, long Tesla, but they tell you that Bitcoin isn't going to hit its all-time high, tell them it's already happened. 14 countries. Japan is one of them. Japan. Moving on. Gary Gensler. Ah, gosh. This is what I love. Look at this. AI. These are the blessings we get, right? You get to see Gary crying in front of a bunch of people, and then you get the guy that's got to buy Bitcoin. I love it. So the state of Texas is suing the SEC for their overreach and stance on digital assets. I love it. It's like karma's coming back to bite this guy in the ass. It's good stuff. BlackRock is hosting an institutional digital asset summit tomorrow. I'll be in Vegas, so I'll miss this. Oh well. I'll try and have a good time otherwise. But they've only got the Bitcoin ETF, guys. What do you think they're going to be talking about? Largest asset manager, AUM, on the planet. Like 10 trillion, 11 trillion dollars. I don't even know what it is now. And they're going to be selling Bitcoin. Huh. Wonder what's going to happen with that. Probably nothing. Right? All right. Time for me to go on my Ethereum rant. Here's my next one. Watch my Ethereum video, please. I know I heard some people talking about Ethereum today. Even James from Invest Answers was reposting something where a guy was talking about how it has no intrinsic value. It's going to go to zero. But I found it interesting that James was posting that. I love James. But the arguments this guy was using, you could say the same thing about Solana. He was saying that there's no consistency and understanding about what's going to happen with the supply in the future. And it's like, well, Solana's even more centralized than Ethereum, so I don't know how that argument plays out, and I disagree with it. I won't go into a big long rant today about it, but here's what I wanted to say today. I'm talking about these ETF approvals. They look very, very likely. You even have Coinbase pushing for them now, saying, hey, ETH's a commodity. SEC approved spot BTC ETFs, also approved the ETH futures ETFs. So basically saying, hey, they're going to do futures. ETH is not susceptible to fraud and manipulation tech-wise. It's got deep markets, just like Bitcoin. And then CME ETH futures market. And so they're pushing all this stuff. And I think they're going to get it. And there's about 95 days, and this thing will be approved. And I think we could see prices on Ethereum that bring it in the next 2 to 3 months. This is my take, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Read the disclaimer down at the bottom. I'm just some dude entertaining you on the internet. But I think it could go to 6 to 10K in 2 to 3 months. I don't think that's crazy. It's 1/3 the market cap of Bitcoin. Doesn't seem impossible to me with all this narrative behind it. And then not just that, but the lower fees I was talking about before. And then you look at this deflationary supply, and Bitcoin will be like 0.85% for its rate of inflation after the halving. And don't get me wrong, I love my Bitcoin. I literally think it's the best network on the planet. But I think Ethereum will still have a place too. And I think the narrative is going to be strong in the next 2 to 3 months. And I think this is a good hodl over the next year, which is why I'm talking about it. But it helps that this thing's deflationary too. Instead of inflating by 0.85%, it's burning 0.211%. And if you see this, there is a trend that has started. And this is after the last cycle, okay? So this is going to get a lot more. Whoa, Square took off? Oh, don't we love seeing that? Let me move some stuff here. Oh, I'm going to make so much money. Good job, Square. You guys are going to have to stick around for that earnings call and see what all that's about. But my whole point is, so I love the fact that this is before a cycle. So this isn't even like crazy volumes. And what happens with Ethereum is their burn kicks in more and more the busier, more congested the network gets. But then they also have EIP 4844 coming out in March, just a couple of weeks, like 3 weeks from now. And with that change, we'll see fees on layer 2s and all the stuff get cut by like an order of magnitude cheaper. And so these things will become highly competitive to other networks overnight, like Optimism and Arbitrum and Matic and all these other. And Matic's got Matic 2.0 that they're working on. So there's just a bunch of really cool things that could be happening on this network to make it more competitive. It adds complexity. But again, I think it's a net positive. I think the narrative will be strong, and I think a lot of money can be made on this. And even Scott Melker, my boy DJ here, the Wolf of all streets, he's got somebody on this YouTube video talking about 5.2K in the near future and altcoins going nuclear. I agree. So watch that Ethereum video. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick before we jump around. We're going to have to check out Square because it's up 14%. This makes up for Rivian. I'm feeling good about this. I got more money in Square anyway. All right, so Bitcoin is back up. This looks like a bull flag. So we're going up still. That's what I would count on. I don't see anything slowing us down. Let's look at crypto, just general, top 100. Wow, does this seem like a good day? This seems like a pretty good day to me. Seems pretty risk on. Let's look at the weekly. You can see how it got beat up the other day. But again, all in all, we're seeing this coming back again. And I'm happy I've been putting a bunch of money into it. All right, let me see here. Nothing there. Nope, you don't need to see that. All right, cool. So let's go and look at some other stuff. I want to pull up Square real quick first, since that's my baby today. And I want to see why we're making money. I'm gonna search here real quick too, guys. Give me 1 second. RNDR, I own some of that too. Yep, Render. That's a good one. Oh, look at that. Let's go up here. Oh my God, we're clear breaking out. This is the real deal. For the second time in almost 2 years. Almost 2 years, we're above this line, and I think we're gonna keep it. Guys. We're very risk on right now, and these guys are crushing it. Let me see. I'm going to check real quick and see what's going on. While we've got that up here, let me actually just do this. We're going to jump over because we got that on the other one anyway. I'm going to get rid of Scott here, and we're going to look up what's happening with Square. And then we'll check out some other stuff because we got a Square call coming anyway. Too much crap. Seeing my own posts. Don't love it. All right, 13%. Square earnings. Oh, we had it for a second. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? This look good. Square earnings in the fourth quarter. Gross profit grew 22% year over year to $2 billion. Square generated gross profit of $828 million, up 18% year over year. And Cash App generated gross profit of $1.18 billion, up 25% year over year. So 18, wow, that's great. 22, 18, 25. These are great growth rates year over year. Operating loss was $131 million, while adjusting operating income was $185 million. Net income attributable to common stakeholders was $178. Let's look over here and see. So that operating loss was $131 million. Let's look at what they've been doing just real quick, and then we'll move on because I won't spend a ton of time with this since I'm doing an earnings call afterwards. All right, so 181 million. That's actually a little steeper. There's got to be something with forward guidance I'm missing. We'll see what comes from that. I'll dig into it later. There's got to be more here. Yeah, there's some more going on. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, never mind. Got to look down here. Net income 178. Yeah, I was reading it wrong. Cool, that's beautiful. Beautiful. This is great, and they're working hard to stay in profitability. So this is gonna be wonderful. How, if at all, will ETH be affected when it comes to it'll be good, actually. They're still operating at discount. I think it's like 10%. I'd have to look it up. I'll check it out next time on like Monday and tell you what the discount rate is and show you guys. But what happens is that discount has to close. So when the ETF is approved, they basically hire people to work with them with liquidity to close the gap. And so you'll get, if it's a discount of 15 or 10%, you'll get like 13, 14, whatever the math is on the way up. So you'll get upside that's greater. And so that's wonderful. So you'll make extra money, essentially, if you're holding ETH and it gets converted to an ETF. All right. Okay, let me see here. Let's go. We're going to look at other stuff. Let's see. Wow, PayPal's up and then up and after hours too. All right, we got to look at PayPal. That makes me happy. I like to see my baby stewing. All right, so where are we at here? So we're above a peak volume shelf. And after hours here, we're sitting a little bit higher. I like that. Let's go to the daily because that's what we're on right now. So we closed under the 100, second day in a row. Kind of sucks. Like to see us break up higher. I really want to see us get above 60, or ideally get above the 200 moving average up here at 62. That's what I want to see to know that it's time to fly. I don't know, though. Maybe we spend a month down here. I really don't give a shit. I'm going to buy more. Yeah, of course, it'll be 2026. Hello. Sudhakar. I hope I'm saying that right, man. Let me know. Hopefully I'm getting it right. All right, so Square still up 12%. Love it. All right, what's up next? Let's see what else we got going on. SoFi slowly creeping up 1%. I think that's fine in support. I'm just going to run super fast through my mains, and then we'll go into other stuff. So again, SoFi looks good. It's above peak volume here. It's above the .618. It feels like we're really turning this into support and getting ready to do an inverse. Left shoulder, ignore the wick. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. A little bit of a dip down, but I think that this could be an inverse head and shoulder, and it could send us up to what'll be like the 14 range. I'll be mostly sold out of my calls by then. Hopefully make like $1 million or something. I'll have to see. I don't know exactly what the return is, but it's a lot. All right, moving on. Hood, up to no good. What am I doing? No, I'm not doing this right. Let's go over here. Load. Hood. Hood. I'm going to stretch this out just a hair. Make it a little bit easier. All right. Let me move this other window too. Cool. So again, hood back above that previous resistance line, going all the way back to April 2022. And again, establishing that base up here. I love it. Somebody mocked me the other day and said that I was catching a falling knife. Just like to give that person a big F you if you're watching. And I'll be super happy when we get above 1417, 1420 range. That's going to be beautiful. When we do that, it's short order to 17, guys. This one's going to make me a ton of money. Already up like 150%. Can't wait that to be 500, 700, 1,000. Anyway, what else we got? What else we got? We did the SoFi. We did the Hood. Oh, ARK. Gosh, there's so many good ones today. Everything. Everybody. God bless the NVIDIA. All you do for us. NVIDIA closed up 16.4%. What? All right, so ARKG still low, but ooh, I like the way we're closing here, right, on the weekly. Let's look at this. We're above the 50, second week in a row. Actually, third week in a row. Love that. Could see us try and test up to the 100 again, the 32 range, and try and break out to this first fib. We get to 35 on that fib, man. I think it's game over. I think this is it's like a V shape bottom, maybe a little cup. It looks like it wants to go. I think this is going to be a good one. This is a real good one from an option standpoint. 2026, 2025 riskier. I'd probably stick with 2026. Most of my bags are in 2025 in this one, though. All right, let me see here. Okta looks good. I'm going to pull that one up, and I'm going to jump to Tesla, Palantir, all the other standard ones. All right, Okta, again, still grinding above that 100. Love it. Good stuff. Tessera. So, Rivian, Lucid, they proved one thing, and I'm sorry I ever made that video about Rivian. It looked good, man. It looked like there was an opportunity there. It looked like they were really getting their costs down per vehicle, and they were going to crush it, and they didn't crush anything. All it did was validate Elon's claims that manufacturing is hard, and that it's going to be really difficult for these companies to be able to get to a point where they can make money. And they confirmed that. They suck. And they're probably all going to fail. Anyway, above peak volume. Love this. Would like to see us keep going higher. I'd love to see us close this gap here and kind of grind in this range. If we can get up high, if we can get up to close the gap, it'll really invalidate this bear flag that's kind of forming. And the bear flag is probably more clear like maybe on the 3-day. This looks bear flaggy. But if we broke up to here, it would kill the bear flag. So if we can get to like 209, 208, anywhere around that above the 200 range, I think we'll kill that bear flag idea. And then it's just a matter of establishing support here and going higher. So maybe the dark days are behind us on Tesla. Think about the narrative, man. It's changed. People have looked at these other EV makers. Legacy Auto, dead. Rivian, dead. Lucid, dead. Fisker, never even started. It's just over. It's over for these guys. So this is good for Tesla, man. This is good for Tesla. It'll just point more people towards them from an investment standpoint. That's my thesis on it. So maybe we still go lower. I hope we do. I really want to stack more. I would love to see this get crushed and get down to 167, or even get down to this daily gap fill over here and just close that bugger down. But I genuinely don't know if we can. And if we do, I am loading the boat, man. It is crypto and Tesla and you know, whatever 10x baggers I got on my plate. All right, moving on. Tesla done. Let's do Palantir real quick. And then I'll start looking at charts. Somebody asked for Fubo right away, too. I'm going to give that to them. I don't know if they're going to like what I say, but they're going to get it. This is great. Again, I talked about how we wanted to get above this line that was, you know, upward resistance, and we wanted to turn it into support. And it really didn't take, it took a day to do that, right? One day we're back up above it again. So this is a good sign, man. And with the AI narrative being so strong, I think Palantir is going to benefit, and I'm going to have to eat my words. I think we're going to 30. If this AI narrative maintains, global liquidity maintains, you know, liquidity in the U.S. maintains, I feel like we're on fire. I feel like, and it's a good kind of fire. It's the kind that's going to blow everything up. Yes, we can look at a bunch of stuff. I'll get to tickers in a second. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get in through my main ones that people might be holding. Miners. I'm going to check out CleanSpark real quick, my baby. And then we will rotate to requests. What am I doing? Why am I typing out the word? What is my problem? And I will not, a reminder, I will not be around at all tomorrow or most of the weekend. I'm going to try and jump on a little bit, but I'll be in Vegas, so I'm not going to try that hard. Like, I'll be real tiny time trying, like small levels of trying. All right, so again, this is beautiful. We're testing up, it looks like we're attempting to test back up to the .618. I love the fact that we've dropped down so much and that we're already getting close to it again. When we break out above this, man, it's going to be short order to 33, 34. So lots of money that's going to be made in Ethereum. Lots of money that's going to be made in the right Bitcoin miners. Mara could probably do good too. They got earnings coming, man. I might even do that one, even though I don't. I find some of the things about the stock and the company questionable, including their management. I'll probably still do the earnings because it's the big player. I don't even count Core as much. It's a big one. So I'm probably going to do that earnings next week. And I'll be as fair and non-biased as I can be. All right, let me go back here. What am I doing? All right, so let me see. Anything else? No, I'm moving on. Let's go look at the list here. So somebody wanted Fubo. Go into that. I'm going to try and rock through these as quick as I can. The more we build these things out, the easier they get. Now, I got to make a point real quick on Fubo. All right, so there's lawsuits going on to try and get it to where sports packages are more favorable. Here's the deal, guys. Fubo has so much competition. And I was big into this stock, but I got out of it a while ago. Probably at a decent level. I think it was somewhere in this wick. But here's my big fear with Fubo. There is so much competition. And the competition has bigger pockets. Google TV. Or YouTube TV. I used Fubo for a while. But here's the thing. Their mobile app sucked. It sucked. I couldn't do the in-picture window thing. And I wanted it because I wanted to like have CNBC or whatever else playing, and I couldn't get it, and so it became unuseful for me. And it's about the same price. And again, like I use YouTube products all the time, and they've got huge pockets. Just think about it. If they wanted to, they could just like discount the crap out of YouTube TV, like discount the crap out of it. How is Fubo going to compete with that? And then, real quickly, I'm going to pull up the financials and just show them to you. So I just think it's a hard market, man. I'm not saying these guys are bad at what they do. I think what they've done is admirable, and maybe they'll do okay, but the risk is too high. So look at their debt. Their debt is outpacing their cash. Look at their net income. It's still negative, burning $83 million last quarter in Q3. What's Q4 going to be? Look at all the share dilution here. Their revenue is topped out. Their cash flow is negative. Their operating expenses have gotten better. They've done a better job there. But look at this. Look at this trend here where their operating expenses are higher than their revenue recently. Like, this just sucks. This sucks, and the competition is stiff, and I can't look at this as something that's going to do well. I just can't. I would love for it to, for the people that invested in it, but I just don't think it's going to be a good one. And then we're trying to test down on this first fib level of support already. This chart looks like shit too. Again, I don't want to crap on anybody's investment, but these are just my honest thoughts. All right, I'm going to start at the beginning here, so I might not get all the recent chats because I'm trying to focus on what people are asking for from the beginning. If I miss, again, put $ and the ticker symbol so you can see it. Square. We'll do the earnings call here later, so we're skipping that. So yeah, if you don't do the $ with the indicator, I'm probably gonna miss it. Can you chart NIM? I'll try to. Yes. I want to make a copy here because I don't think I have NIM. This is old stuff here. When it comes to shit coins, this is the oldest of shit coins that we're gonna be pulling up. And here's the thing: I don't know if that I have this, and I'm assuming this is a crypto. Yeah, I'm gonna make that assumption. Let's see here. Let's go back the way back. Ooh, what should I use here? Bittrex probably. Is there a US dollar? I don't know how long. Oh, just brutal. Yeah, let me see. I gotta find a different ticker. I gotta find something with some age in it. I'll do like I don't want to do. I'll do Tether maybe on Bittrex. Let me check Binance. Maybe Binance has better. Not that long. 2021. I don't know what the best location is for this one. Poloniex is old school. Yeah, okay. So this is the way back machine. So this is a prime example of what I don't want you guys to do. So I'm going to shit on this one. I'm sorry if you got NIM. I'm going to shit on it a little bit. So from one cycle to the next, 95% of shit coins don't hold their value when compared to Bitcoin. 5% of them do. So you got 1 in 20 odds of holding one that can actually keep up with Bitcoin in the next cycle. So I highly recommend, do not hold altcoins through from one cycle to the next. This is the first thing you get out of miners, you get out of the shit coins. You don't try and capture the last 100, 200% even. Because if you can, and if that's happening and everybody's super exuberant, you get out. Because look at this. Here's the 2017 cycle. It was up here, right? Here's the last cycle peak. It was down here. Didn't even get half. Got 45% of what it was at before. This cycle, I don't know, maybe it gets to here, maybe it gets to 25 cents, or maybe it gets up to like 40. But it's just going to keep happening with most of these. So I wouldn't own this. I wouldn't own Litecoin for the same reason. Nobody cares about it. Nobody gives a shit about Litecoin. Charlie Lee didn't give a shit about Litecoin. Think about that, right? He sold out of it himself. Now this one, oh, hey, you did better, guys. You almost did better than your previous cycle. But you double topped. And maybe it does that again. I doubt it. But why would you be invested in this when you could own Solana or other things that can really rock and that still have developers on them? Like, here's what I find. People get in love with their bags. Please don't do that in this cycle. Please don't do it. I am in love with none of this stuff. Don't think it's the future. Don't think it's going to change the world. Why do I say that? Because over 2 cycles, 98% of altcoins don't hold up. So the chance of you finding the unicorn that outperforms Bitcoin is like non-existent. So take your 100x when you get it and be happy and sell it. And then buy some Bitcoin. Put it in cash. Buy some Tesla if it's really down. Move on. All right, that was a long diatribe too. God, I'm really about those today, aren't I? All right, let me see. I might be missing some people. I got, let's see, 3:30. We still got time. We got time to rock. We're going to try and get through some more here. Let me see. NVIDIA, NIM. Okay, so that was a long rant on NIM and Litecoin. I think I covered 2 of these here. Trying to scroll down, making sure I don't miss anybody. RNDR. I will pull that up. I don't know if I have that one, so I'll make it now. And this is an example of a new altcoin, right? This is a new one. This is probably a better bet. The new ones do really well in the beginning, especially if they have the narrative behind them. So those are great. Those are the ones you want to touch. Yeah, look at this already. So you're already ready to break out. And this is only a 2.94 billion market cap, and it's got lots of social interaction on it. And this is the kind of stuff that's going to do good this cycle. This is the stuff you want to see. Again, up today, 18%. What's Litecoin up today? What's NIM up today? Let's see. How you doing, Litecoin? Number 20. What are you up to today? 1%. So I could get 18.7 or I could get 1%. Let's see what NIM's doing. NIM's 183. NIM is up 3.3%. But again, it's just not gonna perform. It's not gonna perform. So why own that stuff? Own the good stuff. Own the new stuff. Own the stuff that everybody's talking about and interested in. Own the stuff that's only a $3 billion market cap. Ethereum is like 350 billion. If this became like something people really got excited, and there's always a few of these each cycle, you got to realize Ethereum can 10x this cycle. It could be 3 trillion. I know that sounds crazy, but it doesn't take that much money to bring it up to that level. And so you could see this stuff happening. And so this if this turned into like Ethereum at its current level, 10% of what it could be, then you're looking at 100x. And this will happen with a few of these. It's inevitable. It always does. So 100x is nice, guys. It's real nice. And you could just pick like the top, like there's about a list of 15 that I have on mine, and you don't have to buy the same stuff I buy. But these are like my top ones that I'm speculating on. And it's a decent list. Arguably, there's better stuff out there, but it's a decent list. And anyway, so but I'm focused on the new stuff. Like Matic is one of the oldest things I have. Atom is one of the oldest things I have. And again, of course, I'm going to have Ethereum and Solana. But like, there's a lot of new stuff here too that I'm playing around with that I think could do really well. Again, Render 24% over this time frame right here. Beautiful. and these things will just keep taking turns popping. All right, so I'm going to save that chart. I will go ahead and do a fib, trend-based fib. Or no, I can't even do that. All I can do is the retracement, and that's going to have like nothing in the form of value. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. It will still trigger, but okay. So again, you're seeing how we're getting ready to hit the previous peak. We're going to see resistance there. Next area though, like 1275. So this thing will run harder than Ethereum will because it's small, it's tiny. Again, there's this whole thing about the scale, right? The scale matters. And when these things go from a liquid to getting pumped, woof, it gets crazy. All right, moving on. Let's get rid of the reindeer here. Or render, sorry, just kidding. All right, BITF, Wolf. Wow, you guys did throw out a lot of these. Okay. Let me just see. What's next? BITF. Yes, I can pull that up. And if you guys want to get your, like if there's some that I don't get to today, if you want a better chance of having your stuff, come early and then just put it in the chat. I start at the top, I work my way down. This is members only, so you know we got a smaller crowd here. But if you want it, come in early. That's all I ask or recommend. So we're down about 17% off of our recent highs. You can see how this is probably bull flagging. This is a laggard compared to CleanSpark, and probably like Mara's probably another one. Those are what I would call tier ones, like they're the highest tier of Bitcoin miners, and so they run first. It's just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin runs first. It's the big boy. Then you'll see like Ethereum. Then you'll see smaller caps go. It's the same thing with these miners, guys. The big dogs, the ones that have all the Bitcoin, the ones that have the highest hash rate, the ones that have the biggest market cap, the ones that advertise more, the ones that have all the followers, they'll run harder and they'll run first, and then people will take gains from those and they'll sell them, and then they'll dial down. So please don't every day be like, why is this one lagging? They just work that way. That's how all these markets work, just so you know. All right. So, Wolf. Yeah, I can look at it. I don't love Wolf for a number of reasons, but I will pull it up. You'll get my diatribe on why I don't like it, and I'll pull it up at the same time. How nice is that? Oh, get rid of this. Get rid of this. Stocks. There we go. All right. So this one, wow, it's actually down today. Let's see here. So I've got to get a fib-based trend extension here. I'm going to go back to the previous low. Let me see here. I'm going to go back to 2023. Yeah, I think that's probably a good one to work off of. And then I'll check it later and I might revise it based on my findings. All right. Okay. So you can see where, again, we had some issues with the .618. We didn't get to it. So it's interesting. This is a decent version of lagging, right? Now, why could it be lagging? Why is this down 3% today when Bitfarms was up like 3.5, 4, and we saw like double digits on CleanSpark? Well, let's just look. Let's look at Wolf. And I'll try and get all the miners and kind of do my take on the financials. Again, it's this negative net income that sucks. Q4 could be better. Well, I should say this. It would be better if they held Bitcoin. But they don't. So they're not going to get that FASB account rule change benefiting them. They also have a lot of share dilution recently. Sure, their revenue's going up. Sure, they have newer equipment. That's all good. And I think they're increasing hash rate. Revenue growth, 391% year over year. That's great. But they're still losing money. And if they had Bitcoin, it would already be showing and flipping as positive on Q4. Hopefully they are positive without the Bitcoin holdings, but they could already be benefiting from that. I do like, though, operating expenses are going down. Again, they're getting newer equipment that they're spending up. That's a positive. And again, here, so the OPEX going down and revenue going up. I like that trend. And so they could see some positivity from that. But I think it's dumb that they don't hold Bitcoin. It bums me out. It's such a no-brainer. When you have, why wouldn't you, at 15,000, why wouldn't you be stacking the shit out of Bitcoin, knowing that this thing could go to a 10x to 20x higher? Smart companies do that. Mara does that. CleanSpark does that. Riot does that. Even Hut does that. I'm not a fan of them, but whatever. All right. IOA Vance Biotherapy. I think all the... Here, let me do this real quick. I can pull that up. I'll make a copy. I don't know. That's such a long ticker, though. IO Vance. Is that literally that ticker? Let me see. Better be. All right. IO Vance. Iova. Okay. I mean, this one's already run, man. I don't know what to tell you. This is nice. This is real nice. But it's impossible for me to judge all these bios that you guys have. It's awesome that you have them. I hope you understand things about them. Really hard to judge them from a technical level because this looks like shit. It looks horrible. Look at this net income. It's horrible. And I can't judge that from a financial standpoint. All I see is share dilution and money loss. They have no revenue. Nothing really to speak of, right? Nothing. This is Q3 of 2023. What did they make? $469,000. I think I made more than that between Q3 and Q4. So it's great that you guys are in these. I like ARKG for this reason. And here's the thing. If you know fundamental stuff for why these are like going to change the world, awesome. This thing's up almost 500% since October. So I can't tell anybody to invest in this or that this is going to be good from a technical standpoint. No idea, man. It's just like, it's pure gambling at this point in my mind for it. Because unless you got insider information, you got that stuff, sweet. Tell me about it, but under the table, not in chat. I'm joking, of course, but seriously, but I'm kidding. All right, here we go. SG, let's see here. What is this? Sweet Green. Is this like weed or something? Consumer restaurant. Okay, never mind. Not some health food place. All right, let's take a look. What do we got here? How many? Losing money. Before I get into this, let's just look at its financials. It was SG, right? Yeah, okay. SG. What is this place called again? Better get the actual name. Sweet Green. I'm probably going to have to type it in like that. This might be a small one. Hopefully it's... Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, so losing money very consistently for a half a decade. Revenue's starting to grow. What happened here, man? Fell off a cliff. The pandemic destroyed this company, it looks like. They were making $394 million, and then they dropped down to $55 million. That must have been devastating. Yeah, I don't know what to say here. I mean, it doesn't look stellar. It's good that they're operating, again, like their revenue is outpacing expenses. That's cool. In this kind of market, though, you got to make money. If you don't see a clear plan of them making money, they're burning $25 million a quarter, and they have no money left, which means share dilution is next. So I'm not going to look too hard on the ticker on this one, guys, because you got to make money. I will not pull up Chinese stocks, Justin. I love you, man, but I won't do it. It's against my code of ethics. I don't like the fact that they chop up Uyghurs and sell them for body parts. China's great. If you have health-related issues, you can order like hearts and stuff, whatever you need. That's really beneficial if you're having a health issue. It's kind of sad for the people they take them out of, because it's weird that you can order something in advance and get it in a timely fashion. So I don't like the CCP. I loathe them. I loathe what they've done to the Chinese people. People talk about the Holocaust with Germans all the time. They ignore the fact that Mao killed more than twice as many people, 3 times, depending upon the numbers that you're looking at. And they were all Chinese. And they ignore Tiananmen Square, and they just look at it as an opportunity to make money. And frankly, I find it disgusting, and that's why I won't. Again, my diatribes, I have a problem with it. All right, DLO. What is this? D-Local Limited. Don't know what that is. Been trending down for a while. What's happening with their financials? DLO. Let's see what's going on here. So the revenue's going up. That's cool. PE 40. It's a $4.8 billion company. Net income kind of drifted down, but still, like, nice trends here. The financials don't look bad. Doesn't look bad. Stock price has been plummeted. Pummeled is probably a better word. For a while. Gosh, it seems like it's finding support. I'll draw this out real quick. And if I'm saying stuff and I'm wrong, guys, you can tell me. I'll look back through chat later. I do try and learn. I know I'm not always right. I think a lot of the time I am. But I know I'm not always. This is a weird one to draw. I'm just going to do a fib retracement because there's not enough to work with. One sec here. Okay. So you can see where we hit that first fib and we just reject it immediately. If we start to curve up here a little bit on this one, the DLO, again, I don't hate the financials. So if they're trending up, so if you see growth and you know some fundamental stuff behind the story, this might be a good turnaround play. I don't know if you're going to get like major upside in it, but it could do all right. It could do all right. Package services, huh? I don't know enough about that. All right, let me see. All right, DLO win. Skipping that. Going to CRISPR. I think I already have this one. I think I pull it up every once in a while. It's probably going to look good today. If ARKG's up, it's up. This is just like, again, these are speculative. And CRISPR, I mean, all this stuff is great. Oh, wait, did they actually make money now? Am I going to have to reassess my thoughts on this one? Are you guys making me do that? All right, shit. I got to look at this here. You got me interested. Give me a second. I did not look at earnings for these. All right, let me see here. I don't know if this is updated yet. Did they just have earnings? Let me go back. You know what? I should drag this over so I don't keep like bouncing around. They must have just had earnings. Maybe this one isn't updated. February 21st. Oh, it's just yesterday. Oof. So I love that. I love that. Reported 201 million. So they're actually making money. And that could flip a lot of this on its head. We could see this going a lot higher. I think 98 is up next, and then probably at least a test to 121, I would think, in the environment we're in. Why wouldn't you test the golden fib and try and at least go that far before retracing? So this might actually be interesting. That's really cool. If at the very least for me, I'm excited about this because this can add to my ARKG holdings. So yeah, maybe a 42% run on this one. Just because, again, if they're making money, and I don't know if this is going to hold up. Let me see. I don't know if their estimates have updated. I'll try and find out. This should update over the weekend. So maybe Monday let's take a look at this again and see what their estimates look like and everything else. Because this is actually looking better. I'm digging it. All right, you. Let's go to you. And I got to bail. I got to bail in like 5 minutes, so I'm not going to get through this whole list, guys. I'm sorry. As I build up the library more and I become more familiar with them, we'll roll through these things quicker. I'm just not there yet. So Unity, I remember looking at this one a while ago. It's grinding that base level, trying to establish some support. Doesn't look great here the way it's rolled over. Let me just look real quickly. So this one's been heavily pummeled. Heavily pummeled. Let me look at it here. Revenue's been going up. Ooh, I like that trend. I don't hate that trend. Look at that. This is one I got to jot down. You got me interested. You got me interested. Unity. Okay. Okay. So I like the fact that we're seeing such a dramatic slope here going up towards profitability. I don't like the debt levels. That sucks. They've got some share dilution. Operating expenses are starting to go down. Cash flow levels are up. We see operating expenses for the first time since 2020, since the pandemic, dropping underneath revenues. This could be a turnaround story. I'd love to see how they're guiding 70% revenue growth year over year, and it's in the shitter. You got me interested, bro. I'm going to look at some options on this one. When is earnings? Is it happening like soon? 26. We still got time. I'm putting that on my calendar. Okay, I'm not missing this one. Nope. We're looking at this. All right, so this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, guys. This is the stuff that's interesting, right? We might have a turnaround story. We got something that's down really hard. What was its high? It's down 86 or 85%. This is the stuff I love right here. Down 85%, and financials are trending in the right direction. Now, don't get me wrong. I still have concerns about the debt. The debt is higher than the cash. That sucks. That sucks. That's dangerous. We need to know in this earnings that these guys are doing all right. But I might even start a position before the earnings. Again, I'll take a bet. I'll take a bet going into it, and then if I'm wrong and I lose 0.3% of my portfolio, I don't really care. But I might take a bet on this just to get started in it. And then I think I'm going to go live on this conference call because I want to see what happens with these guys. All right. I probably have time for one more. Let me see here. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, guys. Do that stuff. Thank you, SK, for joining. I'm brutal. You're brutal. I can be. If you're talking to me, yes, I can. I'm just brutally honest. And I can be wrong. I can be wrong. I'm not perfect. I'm not a god by any means. I've gotten so much better at things in life from being habitually wrong. What about Doge? I think Doge could do all right. Doge has a narrative coming from Elon Musk and X. And when Elon likes something, he is loyal. So I think that you could still see Doge do all right this cycle, especially if X Payments incorporates it in some way or makes it like a lead. And I think Elon's crazy enough to do it, man. Because again, that's just the way he is. That's his brain. All right, I don't think I'm going to have time to do any more. I got to fire up this other conference call. I'm going to be doing the Square one next. So if you guys want to come back for earnings on Square, that's firing off at 4 o'clock. I'm probably going to do it in a couple of minutes here. So I'm going to end now. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for everybody who tipped, joining, all that stuff. It helps the channel and it helps me do more. So I love you guys. Like I said, I'll be dark for a few days, trying to have some fun. But I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you, if nothing else, on Monday, if you're not in the earnings call on Square. Bye.